back. You're watching Morning Live. Now, art auctioneers Stephan, Welz and Co. will be hosting a fine art and collectibles auction featuring a number of black and white photographs from prominent South African artists. Notable works include Jürgen Schutterberg's Tightrope Walker, German, and Meerveld's Women Undone series, as well as Roger Ballen's emotive images of South African music band Die Antwoord. To tell us more about Tuesday's auction, we are joined by senior art specialist at Stephan, Welz and Co, Imre Lamprecht. Imre, good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
And welcome back.
Thanks very much.
Okay, what's going to happen on Tuesday? What are the works on auction, and why is this a must-end event?
Well, on Tuesday evening, we've got our main feature of art coming up on auction at 6:30 in the evening. It's a lovely selection of traditional South African artists, a lot of beautiful international pieces, renowned, well-known artists, a very good selection of contemporary art, South African-based, and then also a very good selection of black and white photographs, a good selection of photographs.
Let's talk about the recognition of photography in South Africa. There does seem to be this uptake and photographers starting to get the recognition they deserve for the work that they're putting together, and this is kind of one step in that, isn't it?
Absolutely. Photography has been an art form for many years, and internationally it's been recognized and it's been put into its own sort of photography auctions and such. The last 3-4 years South African photographers have definitely been featured in auctions and galleries much more, and people are starting to buy it as part of their collections, which is a great feature for them. So definitely a must buy for any collector.
I don't know if it's a tricky question for you, but I'm sure something you can answer quite easily. When you're looking at these pieces, at these photography pieces, what is there a value system that you use to kind of work out what pieces should be assigned to what value, or obviously you're a specialist, this is what you do?
Well, obviously we look at the photographer or the artist first to see who he is. Yeah, the provenance of the artist, to see, you know, has he exhibited, how long has he been in the industry, how recognized is he, how much demand is there for his work, all sorts of little things like that. So the names that you mentioned earlier, like Schutterberg and Ballen, those guys have been doing it for a very long time. Started out as photojournalists and became, you know, sort of brought the artistic element into it much later in life.
For those that are interested on Tuesday's auction, how many pieces are on offer?
The whole auction consists of probably just under 1,000 lots.
Wow.
In the art alone is about 370 items. So
it's quite extensive.
It's a good auction. There's definitely something for everybody. So if you can, pop around.
Then Roger Ballen is focusing on probably, arguably, one of the most controversial music outfits, cultural outfits in the world at the moment, Die Antwoord.
Yes.
That is obviously going to be one of the interesting features of the evening, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've got, if I remember correctly, we've got 4 lots, photographs of Ballen's, you know, focusing on Die Antwoord specifically. And I think people find them strange, and the strangeness makes you want to look at them and makes you want to look even more. And there's definitely a big collectability. There's also a book that he brought out specifically on his works on Die Antwoord. So
yeah, and I mean, there's songs like You Think You Freaky, and I like it a lot.
Absolutely. So, you know, it's just that strangeness that attracts people generally.
And then you talked about Schutterberg's work as well being part of that collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, it's not your job to pick the favorites, but do you have a sense of what artists will sell more than others?
We do generally. At auction it's difficult. Obviously, we have to sort of get works in from the public, from private collectors, so it depends on what you get in from who. And then you sort of try and put it together in the best way possible. And we were lucky this time around that we got quite a good selection of well-known photographers to put together into a strong selection.
Quickly, for anybody who's interested, who's got some money, who wants to buy something interesting, dates, times, where they need to go.
Oh, the actual auction is on Tuesday and Wednesday, 9 and 10 September. There are 4 sessions, 2 and 6:30 on Tuesday, and then again at 10 and 2 on Wednesday. So please come through. We're in Mandela Square in Sandton.
Okay, Imre, thank you very much for joining me. That's Imre Lamprecht, Senior Art Specialist at Stephan, Welz & Co. And it's all about the Fine Arts and Collectible auction that's happening on Tuesday. It's black and white photographs from prominent South African artists. We're going to take an ad break. We'll come back on this.